Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raid Shadow Legends for Galaxy of Heroes players. I wanted to make this video because I really have been enjoying Raid Shadow Legends for the past 6 months, but it definitely had a learning curve coming in from Galaxy of Heroes. They have a lot of things in common, but there's a lot of significant differences to the game. For one, it's the similarities. You have a bunch of characters called champions in this game. You play in a variety of 3v3 or 4v4 or 5v5 modes, PvE modes, fight bosses, fight waves of other similar characters, and uniquely boss or PvE characters. You have skills, you have gear equipped to them, which is called artifacts and accessories in this game, not mods, but think of those as mods. You have skills that you level up. You do damage based on your attack stat. You have a lot of similar stats like crit rate, crit damage, speed. It's a turn-based game, but there's a lot of big differences. So, for one, Galaxy of Heroes is all exclusively based off of the Star Wars universe. Every character is from Star Wars, whether from a movie or a show, a game, or maybe they made them up for Galaxy of Heroes. There's very few of those. But the characters in Raid Shadow Legends are primarily made just for the game. There are exceptions, and I was just showing one for a little bit, Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They do have some limited time overlaps, collaborations with other IPs, and we have Xenomorph from Alien, Alien and Predator. I don't have Predator myself. But there's a lot of differences and a lot of similarities, but the fundamentals of the game and the gameplay and battles is, it feels the same, but again, there's a lot of nuances. One big difference in the characters and how the game works is the acquisition of characters. So I'll talk about that. Then I'll talk about stats and functionality. So characters in Raid Shadow Legends are broken up into a few categories. We have rare characters that have a blue border to them, epics that have a pink border, and then legendaries that have the gold border to them. And they are pretty hard to come by. If you sort them by rarity, you can see all the ones I have. I've been playing a little over 6 months, and I have like 23 legendaries. Not too many. I have a lot more epics, a lot more rares. Then in the green, we have common or uncommon, and then the white border, we have common, which is the same rarity color progression as mods in Galaxy of Heroes. However, the way you acquire them, you do not farm characters or put a lot of effort into hitting a node over and over again until finally you get enough frag shards to summon them. No, instead in this game, and some of the terminology is the same but different, shards in this game it's like a pack. It's like a pack that you can unlock a character from. So this is a super common pack called a Mystery Shard. It has either common, uncommon, or rare characters. This is a common character worth basically nothing. You have ancient shards that will summon either rares, epics, or legendaries. And then finally, the only way to get a mythical character, which red border, I don't have any, is a primal shard. You get very few of those, very few sacred shards, which is more legendaries and epics only. There's a few characters you get like Galaxy of Heroes called a fragment summon, but it's 100 to get. And once you unlock a character, you have them. You have the full character. So it's kind of a feast or famine luck-based thing. And there's a few ways that you can guarantee that you get a few legendaries to start. Speaking of, hey everybody, if you're enjoying watching and following along my Raid Shadow Legends journey, you want to play, now's the time. You can download Raid using my link in the description or scanning my QR code. You're going to get a legendary Tholan Foulbeard for free right at the start, then Mausoleum Mage at level 10, Vergus at level 20, and Tagore at level 3. This is a great lineup of characters, so don't miss out. Download using my link or scanning the QR code today. So yeah, you can use a download code. Use mine if you want. If you're watching this video significantly after it's published, go look for one of my more recent videos to get a more active link. And then you also can go on a computer, so not on iPhone, I'm not sure why. Go to a computer and type for the promo code within 2 days of starting an account. Type in one of the promo codes for a character. The one I recommend right now is Desert Queen, but if that comes back inactive, if you're starting a new account, try to look up more current codes, and you'll get a legendary that way. And also, right now, until January or December 28th, 2025, so that's in a couple weeks, this chase will end. This is a Xenomorph promotion. You get him for free, so you can get 3 legendaries right now. Pretty good time to start. And one of them is, you know, based on an IP. So acquisition, very odd. I'll talk about powering up in a second, but the stats is kind of some significant changes from Galaxy of Heroes. So you have a lot of similarities. HP is just health compared to Galaxy of Heroes. Health, there's no health and there's no protection equivalent. You have like protection up, which is called a shield, but no protection. Attack, there's no special physical. It's more simplified. Defense, pretty similar, but it's a more straightforward number, unlike Galaxy of Heroes. And attack and defense and HP are pretty similar. Defense is not something to be completely dismissed. It is important. You still want defense. Crit rate, or speed. Speed first. Speed's still super important in this game. Speed is always going to be important in a turn-based game. So you want as much speed as you can, although the base speeds are much lower. Like, everything floats around, or most characters float around like 100, and then it's all up to you to get gear or mods to get their speed up. One huge difference in what the stats you care about are is you really want to care about crit rate. So in this game, characters start out at like a base of 15. I don't know if it's every single character, but it's most characters I've seen. And you want like 100%. You don't want to like jump way past 100%, but there's no crit avoidance like analog to this. So if you have 100% crit rate, you're going to crit. And then crit damage, the same, but the way you get it is different. You can get a ton of crit damage. It's way more important than attack for dealing a lot of damage. You still want some base attack if you're looking for a damage dealer, but you're maximized way more by getting crit damage as long as you have 100% crit rate or really high. Resistance, this is the tenacity equivalent to Galaxy of Heroes. And accuracy, it's not like accuracy in Galaxy of Heroes. This is potency. But just like crit rate, you care a lot about accuracy in this game. You care a lot about potency. You want to be landing your debuffs. Raid Shadow Legends is fundamentally about landing a ton of different debuffs on bosses or enemy characters and exploiting that to your benefit. This character right here, I don't have a ton on. That hasn't been my focus for this character. This is just one I picked up. Maybe, okay, so this guy's pretty good. Geomancer. I have him focused on accuracy, 345. For some bosses, like some of the raid bosses, you need like think Galaxy of Hero type raids, like the Pit or the Tank or something. For those types of bosses, you need like 200 or 220 accuracy to actually land stats. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but accuracy, very important. There's no dodge, and like Galaxy of Heroes accuracy in this game, there is dodging abilities, but it's not manipulated by a stat. And there's also ignore defense, which is shown as a stat like this. So this whole time I've been talking, in Galaxy, you might have noticed this massive big table of additions, like plus here, plus there, so many different columns. In Galaxy of Heroes, you have their base stats, and then you have mods affecting them, and maybe a datacron if you're doing PvP. In this, there is a ton of different multipliers that apply. So artifacts is mods. So that's your primary difference maker. And across this top column for HP, by far the most is the artifacts, even more than the base. And that's pretty common in Raid Shadow Legends. You're going to have, it's really focused on the mods, on the artifacts. You also have affinity bonuses, which is based off, so on the squad arena. The squad arena, you get a certain reward called a medal, and you apply those in this thing called the Great Hall. And this multiplies characters' abilities or stats across all game modes. You can do accuracy, resistance, crit damage, defense, attack, and HP for all types of characters in what is called an affinity. So this is another core difference in the characters that I forgot to mention. The affinities are like a rock, paper, scissors for the characters. There is Spirit here, which is this little green lightning bolt. There's Void, a little purple triangle. There is Magic, this little blue thing right here, and then there's Force, which is the skull right here, and they are rock, paper, scissors with each other. In a real quick visual demonstration of this rock, paper, scissors is this triangle you see before entering a battle. So Force is good against the Magic, which is the blue. So red is good against blue. Blue is good against green. Magic is good against Spirit. Spirit is good against Force. Green against red. And then in the middle, there's Void, which doesn't have any weaknesses or strengths. So this multiplies the damage dealt and received. I think also like the resistance and the debuff application, but I'm not entirely sure. But that is something we don't have an equivalent for in Galaxy of Heroes. And as far as I know, the affinity assigned to a character is kind of arbitrary. It's always permanent. You're not going to get one character that's a red and then another of the same, a duplicate of the same character that's a blue. It's all fixed. But those affinity bonuses are shown here. So this is everything I've upgraded in the Great Hall that with rewards I've gotten from the Classic Arena. And also, to make it more confusing, Classic Arena itself gives you a percentage multiplier. So I think I have either 20% or 15% of a multiplier for my addition from Classic Arena. And then for the attack and the defense, those are kind of the core stats that are upgraded. Like when you level up, everyone's going to get their HP, attack, and defense leveled up. And then the speed and crit rate is kind of all dependent on the mods and stuff. Masteries, this is actually a pretty cool thing. There are skill trees, basically. For each character, you can pick 2 sides, 2 out of the 3, and build them up and pick abilities. Like this one is a permanent plus 5% crit rate. This is a permanent plus 10% crit damage. And then there's a variety of abilities. Like this is, you're going to do max health damage 60% of the time. So I think that is a very fun customization we don't have any equivalent to in Galaxy of Heroes. So I do really enjoy that. It is some work to get them up and running. And I'll talk about that. Empowerment. This is if you have a duplicate champion from the epic or legendary rarity or higher, and you feed them into a character. Geomancer here, I have done this twice, indicated by this +2. It's not something you want to really focus on doing. It's a lot of times you don't want to do that, but that's just, it is what it is. The Blessing. This is like red stars. So we don't have an equivalent for this in Galaxy of Heroes, but I think it's kind of similar to Marvel Strike Force. I don't entirely know. But you have it here. You pull them at random. You can have a wish list of characters you would like to pull from, what are these? Mortal Soul Stones. Immortal Soul Stones and Eternal Soul Stones. You pull them, you get souls for a character you might not even have. Like a lot of these I just don't have. Geomancer's there. That's a duplicate soul. But it's just pretty much random. So this is like a mythical 5-star red that if I get this character ever, that'll be great. I can power him up a lot. In these blessings, they have a variety of options. There's less options for lower rarity. So these blues are available to rares and up. These purple borders or pink borders are available to epic and up. And then the gold is legendary and up. So cruelty is just one I have. You get some stats per level. So like on the 4th star, I'd get more HP and crit damage. On the 5th, I get more resistance and accuracy. On the final, I get speed plus 10. But the stats are, as far as I know, they're the same. So like this is plus 7,500, but that's because it's a legendary one. If I had a legendary with the blessings, they'd get a similar amount. Or they get... So if I did change, I'm not going to change. I'd still get more HP from this one. So the first level, plus 3,000 legendary. So you get a bunch of stats, and you get a special ability, like the one here I picked. For Mikey, it can land a smite debuff, which is locked when you have a higher number of a higher awakening level. It does a lot of damage to enemies when they do a special. It's only 1 per team. So that's something very popular or very important. And then Relics. This is not like Relics in Galaxy of Heroes. There's a lot of overlap in terminology that is not necessarily the same. A relic is kind of like what you'd think of as a relic if you didn't play Galaxy of Heroes. It's a old item, but it's something you play that is like attached. So here I have this one. It's giving me plus 255 attack, 28 accuracy, and it has an ability attached to it. If I change the one I have, I can pick one of these lower ones. You level them up and you get more stats. So there's a lot of things you modify a character with, not permanently, but like a lot of moving parts. I could take that off and put it on someone else. So a lot of their stats are just not a fixed base. Area bonuses, that's less common. That's something from like live PvP that you can upgrade. I don't think many people do because it's really hard to do it. But that is the basics of the stats for a character. And then how you affect them. Mods in Raid Shadow Legends are much more important than mods in Galaxy of Heroes. Mods in Galaxy of Heroes are very important, but in Raid Shadow Legends they are essential. They are like everything to a character. It's entire being, like what you apply. And the amount of sets, it's not just a few. Like this is like Galaxy of Heroes, the offense, defense, speed sets. No, there are dozens of sets with varying levels. So this like if there's 2 in parentheses, you need 2 of that mod to get the ability or the bonus. 4, you need 4. We're used to that, but there's also 1 to 9. So there's mods that will give a bonus based on if you have 1 piece, 2 pieces, all the way up to 9, and those are really hard to get because this top 6. Think of this kind of like normal Galaxy of Heroes mods, with the boots being the arrow. You can have speed as a primary on the boots, but it's a higher number. 5 stars is a maximum of 40 speed. From the primary stats, 6 stars you can get up to 45. So the boot's like an arrow. The gloves are kind of like the triangle, and the chest is kind of like the cross. And then these top 3 are like the left side mods in Galaxy of Heroes, where there's only 1 primary possible: attack, HP, and defense. And then they have a variety of stats in the secondaries. So leveling them up. So you see there's some gold stars here and then some purple. So purple ones are basically sliced, but it's different than Galaxy of Heroes, like everything. It's similar but different. So this purple number is an Ascension. So this one is has reached maximum Ascension. This one has not. So if I click Ascend, I would need a lot of just whatever this. Don't worry about the specifics of the units and the currencies. You'll figure them out as you go along. But you max them out with these extra stats. And these green plus numbers are glyph enchantments. So you win these from a game mode called Faction Wars. You put a glyph, you can get a bonus of extra stats. So this is not in addition to that +4. If I put this, it would replace the +4 and get a +12. So that's better. Speed is still something you want to heavily focus on in Raid Shadow Legends, but it's harder to get. And upgrading mod, it's just very different. So this is a rare mod. Just like in Galaxy of Heroes, there's 2 stats revealed as a blue. But unlike Galaxy of Heroes, I would need to level it up really high to get level 12 and 16 to see the 3rd and 4th stat. You don't do that with every mod. So instead you can get it up to level 8. I will get both my 2 rolls on the pre-existing stats from that. Anything else above that, level 12 to 16, will upgrade the primary stat and reveal a 3rd and 4th bonus stat. So it's not like Galaxy of Heroes. And once you get maxed out on that, you can't go any higher. There's no like 6E to 6A in this like Galaxy of Heroes. So this is a legendary mod, and that's what makes legendaries and mythicals more valuable. So I guess it's legendary, but so this starts with 4 stats if it's a legendary mod. If I upgrade to 16, there's going to be 4 extra rolls on stats. So if that's the maximum potential for speed, is a legendary or a mythical mod. A mythical mod has like a enhanced substat that's higher than normal, like 10% crit rate. You're not normally going to get. You're going to get like 5 or 6% or something. Yeah, like 5% there on this one. That's not an enhanced mythical stat. That's normal, and then 10% crit damage. So that's how they work in general. A lot of the game is about chasing lots of extra mods, and you have a lot more storage. You have 2,000 storage for, oh, that actually went up recently. That's great. See, they increased the storage cap. It was 1,600 last time I checked. Now it's 2,000. Galaxy of Heroes needs to do that. It's still at 500, and it's terrible. And that's just for the artifacts like this. The accessories have another cap. Accessories are different because they are limited based on the faction. So these artifacts I can put on anybody. I could put this gauntlet on this guy, or this guy, or him. But for the accessories, you see this little icon here. This is the faction. This is Dark Elves. I can only have ones that match that faction. And even this one, which is a special type of set, it's one of those 1 to 9. They're limited by faction too. So this is a Chrono page, but for Dark Elves. I cannot wear a Chrono page for Orcs. And factions, I'm saying this a lot, it's very different than Galaxy of Heroes. Galaxy of Heroes, we have a faction for everything under the sun. There's new factions all the time. There's dozens of factions. But just like there's dozens of sets in this and a very limited number of sets in Galaxy of Heroes, there is a very limited number of factions in Raid Shadow Legends. and a ton of factions in Galaxy of Heroes. If you're losing track by now, that makes sense, and don't feel bad. It's hard to get a grip on it, and that's why I want to make this video, because if I want to invite people to play Raid Shadow Legends coming from Galaxy of Heroes, my main game, I want you to have a base to it. So I think there are 15 factions. As far as I know, they're not adding more, because there's over 900 champions, I think, in Raid Shadow Legends. Adding a whole new faction require, like, I don't know, recasting a ton of champions or a huge dump of champions at a time. I think it's more of a fixed thing. There's multiple reasons to think that. But yeah, it's more of an arbitrary label to them that they use to limit, that you use to limit in other areas of the game. Which is a good segue to talk about skills and abilities. Kits in Galaxy of Heroes are in Raid Challenge are way simpler than Galaxy of Heroes. Whether you like that or not, that's just what it is. A lot of people like it. It's a lot more plug and play of a game, but it is. I tend to like the more complicated kits, and there's some complicated stuff in this, but this is a leadership ability. This aura right here, I can't even click on it to. Oh, I need to hide it. So the aura ability. This is a leadership ability. Ally HP in all battles by 15%. And that's considered really good. Or no, that's not considered good. This is really good. Ally speed in arena battles by 30%. And this guy has speed 19%. So speed leads are, as you might guess it from Galaxy of Heroes knowledge, they're very important. It's probably the best. In all battles is very key. As we saw here, this is a higher, but it's only arena battles. So it's limited. So that is what a leadership is. It's extremely simple. The kits themselves, not everyone has a passive. Legendaries typically have a passage, but here's the passive here. It's like a unique. Fills his champion's turn meter by 5% each time a debuff on an enemy is removed, transfer, or expires. Very simple. Some of them are more complicated, like this guy Geomancer is really good. It's about reflecting damage and decreasing damage received. And if you see a really big passive like this, it's a good chance it's a good character. Like Shredder, he's from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, very strong. The active abilities, people refer to them, if you're reading on Reddit or something, A1, Ability 1, Ability 2, Ability 3. It's not basic, Special 1, Special 2. It's A1, A2, A3. And if they have a buff that's going to be applied, it's going to be highlighted in green. If there is a debuff, you'll also see it as well. Like this guy can inflict poison. They're all in green, and it'll show the debuff they have right there. This guy has, 2 HP burn and weakens. And like I said, you'll want to have a variety of debuffs. Whenever I pull a really good character to start, and even now, because I don't know every character in the game, I didn't know they're really good. And like reading a kit, it did make sense to me that they're so good. Like this guy, everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's so good. And he is. But I did not know from reading his kit. He's got an AoE on his basic, which is okay. Decreased accuracy, it's decent. He removes buffs. And then this thing depletes turn meter. It's very simple for kits. So I won't dwell on that too much longer. I'm not going to tell you how to strategize to do everything. But it's a lot more limited functionality than Galaxy of Heroes. Galaxy of Heroes, you have like a novel for all these characters. And I do like that. But it is just a lot smaller. And then upgrading the skills is actually very hard to do. So you have skill tomes that correspond to different rarities. So you have... this is a mythical skill tome. I could use it to upgrade anything under mythical, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it. Also, there's legendary skill tomes. This is a legendary character. I need a legendary skill tome to upgrade his abilities. As you might guess, the higher levels are much harder to get than the lower ones. This guy is not leveled up, so that's a good example. So an epic skill tome is purple, and I could max out all his skills with 15. I could also use the legendary skill tome, but not a good idea. And it's kind of random. You can't pick which ability to upgrade, so I do dislike that compared to Galaxy of Heroes. But it's a more simple system. You need one item to upgrade one skill. I used one book. I get an upgrade to a skill. That's not like Galaxy of Heroes with like 20 Zetas or 20 Omicrons. There's no Omicron equivalent. And that's all there is to it. Skills are pretty simple, but that is what makes a character good. is what the abilities say, also the base stats, and the multipliers, which you're not going to see necessarily. You have to go to a third-party site to be able to see the actual multipliers. But that's what determines who does a lot of damage. Oh, and by the way, this is damage based on attack. Some characters do damage based on HP or even defense, and I do really like that. That has a higher upside. So this guy is one of my favorite characters that I have right now, Shredder. He deals damage based on HP. He is super tanky and he hits super hard, so his tankiness directly correlates with how hard he hits. I do really like that. Also, if you've noticed all these stars that have different colors, when you pull a character right away, they are just yellow stars. That means no modification. There's also all this pink. This character has a bunch of pink shards. And then there is the red. And this guy is my only maxed out full red. Even though it was just random. It was just lucky I pulled him and that I had him. It was great. But the purple stars, or pink, whatever you think, those are from Ascension. Ascension is something you don't need to worry about a ton when you're like brand new, because it's hard to get all this stuff. But you use potions. So you win potions in a dungeon, and you need everyone needs needs white potions and then their color. So this guy is the blue magic. He needs a blue potion. This guy's green. He needs a green potion. This guy needs the red potion. And the higher the rarity, the better type of potion you need. So there is superior, this right column. There is greater in the middle, and lesser, these tiny little potion jars. And if I want to ascend this rare character, they start with the tiny potion jars. These manipulate stats, but then they also can unlock abilities or upgrade abilities certain ways as well. So this passive, I think, was unlocked from getting 3 stars of Ascension, and it removes 1 random debuff from all allies at the start of a turn, 2 random debuffs instead for allies with like a continuous heal, which is like heal over time. So I think that's most of it for like the kits and abilities. Pretty simple. Upgrading the character, you got Ascension, you got mods and gears, then you got leveling and extra stars. So that's actually a big thing. The progression in this game is not like gear in Galaxy of Heroes means a permanent fixture to a character that upgrades them to a relic level, and you never can take that off. Gear in this game is the mods. You do not have an equivalent to relic levels or gear levels. So gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's so much more about the mods. The Ascension is something too. The Blessing, the red stars are something. But there is no equivalent to gear or relics, like Galaxy of Hero gear and Galaxy of Hero relics in this game. It's all, you level up. Getting 6 stars is the max. That's a big goal for a lot of characters, and it's kind of hard to do. To upgrade a character's stars or levels, you don't just look at them in the champion view order, which, you know, would be simple. You go to the tavern. You can click this tavern button there, which will take you to the tavern where you upgrade characters. But so all these are at the top are 6 stars and level 60. But let's look at a character that I have at 5 stars. If I want to take them to 6 stars, I need to feed them 5 5-star other characters. And to get a 5-star character, you need to give that a maxed out level 40 4-star character 4 other 4-star characters. And I think you can see where this is going. To get a 4-star character, you need to take a level 30, which I don't have any right now, and get to get a 3-star character. So rare start at 3 stars, epic start at 4, legendary start at 5, and mythicals start at 6. Green, uncommon start at 2. If I want this character to be a 3-star, I just feed them these 2 once they're max level. So 2-star max level is 20, 3-star 30, on and on. So what you do, you don't want to feed a bunch of rares and epics, or definitely not legendaries, to upgrade a character. What I have here, this is a character that I get frequently as a drop. They're a rare character, but they're a dime a dozen. So I use these as my target to upgrade a character. So I have 3 of these ready. It's asking me, they're used for fusion, which I'm not gonna get into today. You need a bunch of characters and upgrade them, and then you fuse them into one character. It's kind of cool, but hard to do. You need a bunch of other characters to upgrade, or a chicken. So chickens are extremely valuable. It's kind of funny and doesn't make intuitive sense, but this chicken is really good. A 5-star chicken is Perfect. I love it. So I could do 5-star chickens if I get them, but they're very hard to get. They're in events and, you know, certain checkpoints and goals and quests and whatever, but they're hard to do. So takes a lot of doing to upgrade a character, because you need to you need to do a lot of leveling and a lot of rank increasing. To train a champion and get levels, there is kind of an equivalent to training droids in this game. It's potions. So you want to match the affinity for the most effect. To level up this 3-star character to level 30, it would only take 11, which is not a ton. You generally don't want to use these potions. You want to save them. But to upgrade like a level 5, a 5-star character all the way to 50, it's significantly more. It's 52. And then if I had a 6-star, it would be like over 100. So you don't want to use those. You want to do campaign farming. So campaign, this is like light side, dark side battles, or even Cantina. But there's no... The output is a lot different. You're not getting shards. You're not getting gear like in Galaxy of Heroes. You're getting... you can get a straight up character. You can get a little piece of like a mod. You get silver, which is like credits, and silver way harder to come by and way more important. So we don't have gear or relics in this game, but you do it. Silver is a very limited commodity. It's really hard to get. I have 10 million here. I can maybe max out 5 or 6 mods if I was lucky. And when you try to upgrade a mod, you can fail. So you could do that, and then it's just, that kind of sucks. So silver is a lot harder to come by. You can get that from this. You can get these mystery shards. So that's what you're getting, but the most important thing you're getting from these battles is actually experience. So let me just take some of these rare champions. So this is the node you want to go for. It's stage 12-3 brutal. You look at the same map in a variety of levels. You start in normal. You got to go all the way through. The map doesn't even look different. Because I have 3 stars on everything. It's the same levels, just a little bit of a higher difficulty. There's Brutal, and then finally Nightmare, which I actually haven't completed. I probably could, but I don't know. So you want to go 12-3 Brutal. You bring it. You want 1 champion. So this is the one piece of advice to progress your account. You need a character that can solo this node and do it quickly. And you're going to be leveling up like that. You can click Super Raise. It's like a double. So instead of 8 energy, it's 16. You battle. And at the end, they're all going to level up a certain amount. So Shredder just destroys people. One big downside that Galaxy of Heroes would probably hate is there's no simming. There's only auto battling. You can do multi-battles, but it's all about auto. So there's this multi-battle here. It's a unit of measurement, or it's like an item you get, multi-battles. You can start them. You can just sit and have this run, and there's a lot of quality of life improvements to make it easy. Like you can say automatically use gems, i.e. crystals, to restore energy, and continue when your champion's match level, continue if you'll lose. Sell your gear automatically if you don't want it with certain limitations, like I don't want any low-star gear. You can do all that, but you can't spend no time and do it. There's some simming, like in clan bosses, which is like raids. So it is like a raid, and it's something that's always running. So I could do, if I have maxed out a score, like in this one, I haven't maxed out the score in one shot. I need to have a 70 million score to do a quick battle on this. For this Nightmare level, I have hit the required amount, so I can do a quick battle. And then there is Brutal. So I can just run my team, do quick battle, start on auto. It just calculates what I do. We don't even have this in Galaxy of Heroes. We don't have simming on a raid. But this is like simming on a raid, which is kind of easy. And then you can do the manual run. This guy runs every day. Really good source of income. You're going to get, from the chest, you're going to get gems, which is like crystals, different types of shards, skill books, which are really valuable, the potions, all kinds of stuff. My favorite reward from this is legendary skill tomes and sacred shards, and I think a lot of people would agree, but there is no simming on battles. Battles mainly is the campaign, which is really important and kind of surprising to me because you just like you get levels up from battling this, and it's split among the whole team. So that's why you want one character that's carrying and then 3 scrubs that are getting leveled up. And then there's dungeons, which is a ton of different game modes. Well, not necessarily game modes. Like dungeons is a game mode, but it's like a lot of different dungeons, and it's confusing when you look at it because it's not as straightforward, I think, as Galaxy of Heroes. So basically, over here, these 5, these are potion keeps. See, there's a little bottle next to them. You get red potions here, you get blue potions here, green, purple, and then the white one that everyone needs. So that's this whole big category. You don't need to worry about this like really early or anything. And they're limited by day. So this one opens on Monday, and then Saturday, Sunday. It's Friday right now, so the red one's open. So that's this big bunch. These 3, no, not that. These 3, Fire Knight, Dragon Slayer, and Ice Golems is for normal mods, artifacts. So you run those a lot. So this is a big grouping. You run these 3 and you're getting a bunch of different mods. Dragon Slayer is popular because you can get speed mods, which is popular, just like Galaxy of Heroes. There's a bunch of different sets. There's like 7 or 8 for each one. They all have different strengths and weaknesses. You might be able to max out the Dragon's Lair, but not. So I'm all the way to level 25 on that, but not on this. I haven't tried yet, but the levels it shows, it's just because we don't have a gear or relics, and they don't have mods, so the level is just really high to indicate the difficulty difference. That's those 3. Minotaur's Labyrinth is the unique one, and this is probably a big priority. You need scrolls to do the masteries. Remember that skill tree? So that's this. And I don't hit this too hard until I didn't hit this a ton, like too hard until I could get like the max one. So it shows you your best time. I finished this in 28 seconds as my best. I haven't ran the ones below it since I was able to get this one. So because Stage 14, I did it in 3.5 minutes when I first did it, and I haven't come back to it. So you really don't need to look back once you get the higher difficulties. This is an event one that comes and goes. The Spider's Den gives you accessories. So there's rings, amulets, and banners. They're like the 3 specialty things, like the 7th, 8th, and 9th piece of mods. And then these 2 are like think of them as like the mod slicing materials, the ones that you upgrade past the max, like with a bonus stats. So this one upgrades artifacts, so the normal 6 mods, and this one upgrades the accessories, like the 7, 8, and 9 that you get from Spider's Den. So that's the dungeons. Not to weigh in on like strategy for each of them. Faction Wars is kind of what it sounds like. You're limited to a faction. You have these keys, these like little purple skull keys. So it's day by day, like this one will be in 6 days, 4 days, 5 days. So this one, it's like you go in only with your demon spawn characters and see how far you can get. This one only orcs. This is very important because you're getting the glyphs to add extra stats to your mods. Very important. You get add like a bunch of extra speed. Even if you can barely do anything, even if you can only do stage 1, if you're planning on like playing Raid Shadow Legends a lot, try to use all your keys each day. Arena, this has a lot of similarities to Galaxy of Heroes here, and this is probably one of the biggest similarities. Yeah, so the classic arena, this is like squad arena. It's 4v4, not 5v5, and it's just, I mean, it's the most base version of the game. Unlike Galaxy of Heroes, there's no grand arena equivalent, which is kind of crazy. And Grand Arena would be interesting because the rosters are all different since there's so many champions. Not everyone always gets the same things or can even target the specific things they want. But you win these medals, which upgrades the Great Hall, and there's faction abilities like I saw earlier. And then you have, well, in Tag Team Arena, which this is interesting. Tag Team Arena, you set like 3 different teams of 4. And have them each run against your enemy's team 1, 2, and 3. That's kind of cool. And then there's like the currency you get from it, which you can spend. You can buy shards for legends. This one particular legendary, you get some chickens, shards, all that kind of stuff. Live arena, I kind of hate. I do it only when there's like a quest, like a daily quest that I have to do it for, because it takes so long. It's very slow, so I don't bother with it. But you go in, you use one of these tokens. and then you get matched up with someone. You pick a character, they pick a character, and you get to 5. You ban one, and then that's it. So that's like basically the extent of one-on-one PvP. And like for Classic Arena, you can climb up high in the ranking, so the tiers. Like I'm up near the top. I'm not like a super new player, but they're not like capped in how many players can be in them. In Tag Team Arena, it's different. There's a limit, like a player limit. So I'm like all the way down here at the bottom, like in the basement. There's only 100,000 players allowed here. 3,000. I don't like that. It's like crazy. This is, I guess, the closest equivalent to like Kyber or whatever for Galaxy of Heroes, but it's just not that much. Clan bosses, this is like raids. This one's every day. This once a week. This once a week. I'm not gonna go into the details of them. It's pretty. You don't need tickets or anything. It just runs. It just goes. So that's kind of interesting. But this is a really big source of like rewards and resources. The Demon Lord payouts, and this is every day. Doom Tower is cool. You take a so this all these different banners. These are like the main game modes, and I really like Doom Tower, Cursed City, and Grim Force. Those are really fun. Doom Tower, you're scaling up a tower, so you can go on hard mode or normal mode, and you get rewards for each little item. You don't need energy for a lot of these game modes. You need like a specific resources. Like this one has keys, and what's good is if you use a key and lose, you don't lose the key. You keep doing it until you actually win. Silver keys are for like replaying a boss, so I could use a silver key and replay this. But like the first climb, I would need the gold key here. And you get a bunch of different resources. Cursed City, I really like this mode too. You fight your way around a map. You can take different directions. It's not forced one choice, and you're just limited by factions. So there's like these 4 different factions I can use. I can use any of my champions from these factions and fight. Sometimes there's a even bigger limitation. So on like the hard mode, I can play interchangeably. I can do normal and hard and not like have to choose a conquest or anything. There's something here. So there's an additional limitation on this boss. So there's these 3 factions, but they can only be a HP type champion or a support type champion, which is kind of like Galaxy of Heroes as support, attacker, tank, all that. But HP is one. It's got like a few others. So you go around, a lot of rewards. Each one has a unique reward. Like this is a potion, and this would be a chest with the brews, which are like training droids. And then Siege is kind of like TW, but I honestly don't really understand it. I don't do too much. It's like an ongoing thing. This one ends a week, 3 days. I don't understand it. I can't tell you too much about it. Grim Forest is brand new, and I love it. You get these 30 pieces of energy or something a day. You can't buy more. A piece of energy takes a step, or you can do a battle, or you can get a chest. And I really like this. So far, this is just my new favorite game mode. You also make a deck of characters. So this is the limitation angle on it. It's like you pick 20 of your characters on normal mode, or on hard, you have a much bigger deck. And you draw like maybe 5 from one and 5 for the other, 7 for one, 7 for the other. So in hard, there's a much bigger pool. You might not end up with any good characters. You might get the whole bottom row, and you have to make it work with them. So it's about deep rosters. Probably not like super great for a brand new player. You'd have to build up some to get there. But I think it's really cool. And like the rewards feel meaningful since it's so much about mods and gear. You feel like you can always upgrade somebody. Or you get energy or something, and you don't have to spend energy to go through things. I like that each little game mode has their own resource that you use to move around. So like Cursed City, it's also a key. I get 8 a day, and that's it. It's not like a different energy that trickles in slowly over time. There's only one type of energy, really. I mean, that's it. I use it in campaign or dungeons. But it's just one type of energy. It's not a ton of different energies like Galaxy of Heroes. Oh, and this is big. It's a 40 gem cost to refresh your energy. You get plus, I guess, 130 from it. That's your max energy. It's always 40. It's always 40 gems. It's not 40, then 80, then 160 like Galaxy of Heroes. You can use your... That's the only thing to really use your gems on, your crystals, is energy. Just like Galaxy of Heroes. But you can just max, like, I basically run my gems into the ground every day, as long as I have time or enough multi-battles to do things. This little guide here, this is showing all the different entry tokens you have for different game modes you can use a day. So I've used all this stuff for the Grim Forge, that is stored energy. Most of the stuff for the Doom Tower, Cursed City I haven't used. These are the boss keys. I still need to hit these bosses some. Because they like and I have a long time to do it. I mean, this clan boss, the Hydra and the Chimera, I have like more than half a week to do it, and I haven't done it yet, and it's not like a rush. I'm not exactly a good guildmate or anything. We don't have a Discord. I don't know anybody in the guild. I just kind of like hit these, and you know, we see there's the guild chat, but that's it. But yeah, so you look up here and keep track of what you've done today and what you haven't. I don't worry about using all my arena tokens, or anything like that, but you do want to worry about hitting the Demon Lord when you can. Make sure you're using your Hydra and Chimera keys each week. And just, I don't know, whatever resource they give you. So I think that's most of an overview. This is a very long video, but I think I've covered most of what I would need to know to come into this game from Galaxy of Heroes. Hey everybody, if you're enjoying watching and following along my Raid Shadow Legends journey and you want to play, now's the time. You can download Raid using my link in the description or scanning my QR code. You're going to get a legendary Tholan Foulbeard for free right at the start, then Mausoleum Mage at level 10, Vergus at level 20, and Tagora at level 30. This is a great lineup of characters, so don't miss out. Download using my link or scanning the QR code today. So that's most of the basics. I mean, it's a really complex game, like any game, but this, I think this is enough to help you understand what's going on. Like there's this Guardian ring, you click on it here, you can put characters in to help them level up, because leveling up is more difficult than Galaxy of Heroes, and it's a bigger deal. There's faction guardians, where if you have duplicate champions, you put them in and you can amplify everyone else in that faction. So like I have a bunch of dwarves, so I locked these 2 dwarves in that I didn't need. I get all my rare dwarves get 10% HP, 10% attack for each different set. I don't have any duplicates for like the epics or the legendaries because they're hard, but there's all kinds of little things like that. Empowerment I talked about earlier. If you have a duplicate champion, you can feed into somebody. But yeah, it's a good game. So give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. And always use my link if you want to get it off to a good start, and use that promo code I showed at the beginning, Desert Queen. And let me know what you think. All right, that's going to be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.